Well, welcome back, listeners. You are listening to Passage to Profit, the Inventor Show on WOR 710, the voice of New York. And we are on to our final presentation today. We've had fabulous presentations so far.
Outstanding. This has been an awesome show.
And this next presentation is by Dave Mulford. He is a client of the firm. He had one invention and he was selling it, and he decided to repurpose it and make another invention for doggies. Everybody loves their dogs, right? So I'm going to let him explain it. Welcome, Dave.
Thanks so much. I'm Dave Mulford. And first I want to say that I've gotten some recognition by licensed brokers in California just by the way my patent was written by Gerhardt Law. It was so incredible and so fantastic. They said that alone was something that they're very interested in because of the way it was written. Unfortunately, their track record wasn't so great, so I had to push that aside. It would have been a great way possibly to get a license and start making the product and getting a royalty, and maybe sometime down the road when that agreement was terminated, then I would relinquish that product and that business, and that way could be one way of getting something started. But that avenue didn't seem very appealing to me because I'm a really hands-on guy. You know, this is my baby, this is my project, and I wanted full control of the avenue in which it's going. And so there's a lot of obstacles and a lot of things, you know, with just, okay, I got the patent, and the way it was written, you know, this is the umbrella right here. It's a fantastic double frame, double canopy umbrella, and the handle has a removable LED light in it.
And for our radio audience, Dave is showing everybody the lighted part of the handle, which it lights up and it's quite bright, and it makes somebody walking in the street identifiable at night.
So. Right. And if you had seen him on our show before, when he was on here, his first invention was the umbrella saver, which kept your umbrella from going inside out in the wind. It had connections on it and a flashlight in the handle too. So you could go out in stormy weather with an umbrella and still be safe. But you repurposed that flashlight, right?
Yes, I did. A quick story. A friend of mine out in Pennsylvania has dogs, a dog breeder of Australian cattle dogs. And one evening she let one of her dogs out, and unfortunately it ran across the yard and through the woods. And it was at nighttime and she couldn't see it, and it never came back. And unfortunately, on the other side of that woods was a busy freeway. And she eventually, that next morning, did find her dog. Unfortunately, it was hit by a car. And she was devastated. And, you know, I was very sad for her. And so I thought, well, if you could see that dog at night, that would have been much better. You could have tracked your dog. The person in the car could have seen that dog. So I created Fur Baby flashlight. And this is the handle right here that it houses it, that you can use it. I'm clicking the center, turning the light on. It has a flashing twinkle setting of different colors, very bright, where you can put it around your dog's neck, and you hit it again, it's a solid LED light. And you can take it, and then it twists out of the handle like this, and then it has a cord on it. And you can wear it yourself, or then you put it on your dog, so that you'll be able to see it. And if you don't want to put it back on the handle, then you take it and you twist it, and you just put it in this little canister that you have. Comes with the kit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the name of it. It's called Fur Baby Flashlights. I love the name.
So Justin, do you have any thoughts about, it sounds like Dave may have hit a few obstacles here. Any thoughts about where to take this?
Yeah, it all goes back to the marketing plan, like we spoke about earlier. You know, seems like some amazing products. I'd be interested in it. We obviously don't have enough time, but if you're developing a full marketing plan, it's going to identify who is the person most likely to buy it. How do you connect with them? Who are they shopping through, et cetera? And if you have the marketing plan, now you're able to pitch your marketing plan to perhaps investors who are willing to come behind you and invest in that marketing plan to get that product to your potential customers. So I would be interested to see that if we were working together.
And that's right about the point that I'm at right now. I did send a sample down to a packaging company, and they asked me, well, how many do you need? I said, I can afford maybe 5,000. And he laughed at me. He said, well, we usually do like 500,000, maybe a million. I'm like, oh, okay. So then, I think being an entrepreneur and an inventor, you have to be very flexible, and and when something comes that doesn't quite work out, then you can shift gears and find something that does work. So what I did is this is a sample where I'm holding up a sample where you print this off and just put it in a plastic baggie. And then there you go, packaged. Or I have a little box I can stick it in, and I can mail it out, from my online store for maybe flashlights.com. And there you go. So there's always a way, and there's always a way to keep yourself moving forward. And I like a lot of stuff that you said, Justin. I have like a whole page of notes that I took.
Right.
Go to the website.
Exactly. It's great. And I was just talking to a colleague. I'm a sign language interpreter by trade, so I do interpreting. And I was at New York at a government job, and my colleague there has an invention that's kind of in the infancy processing of everything, still in the drawing, the CAD drawings and this, that, and the other, and trying to get a patent and stuff. And she has a daughter who is very connected to TikTok. And she goes, my daughter, because she had her products, so something with her eyebrows, plucking them or something. They made like a 30-second video of her plucking her eyebrows. And after the weekend was over, she looked and she had over like 7,500 followers watching her pluck her eyebrows. And so I think using social media is key on getting it out there, getting your product seen. And also with, like Jessica said, finding people that can put you in the right spot and being seen by the right people is also very important. But, then you got to be very careful who those people are to make sure that they're legitimate and they're just not out to get your money. That's another thing too.
So Kenya, do you have any thoughts or questions?
Well, I actually have I have a couple of ideas for you. So, they have a lot of different pet platforms that are out there that are very non-traditional. I mean, we actually had, it was like a dating app for pets that was on
Yes.
here not too
Yes.
long ago, right? And I
Mhm.
know at that time, and I can't think of the name of it, but they
Dig
were looking,
Dates.
Dig Dates, right?
Yeah.
Dig Dates. They were looking for, non-traditional partners to kind of feature products and so on and so forth on their platform. And I'm thinking there could be a way for you to tap into these non-traditional platforms to highlight your product. And maybe there's some sort of like profit share there where they get a little and you'll get the bulk
Right.
of like whatever revenue comes in. But again, it gives you an opportunity to get up there, get your product featured, sell it, create that demand without, before you kind of partner with some sort of major retailer. And then you're not having so much of the only codependency on your own platforms. You're really starting to leverage other people. So that was just a thought that I had while you were talking about, how to get it out there.
Right. Yeah. And another hurdle is like coming up with the product. Let's say Petco or PetSmart goes, oh, I love your product. I need 50,000 to be sent off my stores, say. Well, my manufacturer can manufacture 50,000 in a month, but it's like, I really don't have the capital to, I can maybe send you 5,000, but that's not enough. So
Right.
these, all these obstacles that come up, and they're solvable problems, and just being flexible and just kind of stepping back from it all and kind of, listening to what other people say is very important. Instead of just saying it's my way, it's only going to be my way. Like Justin was saying, sometimes you just got to get out of your own way and just kind of, get other people involved. So that's kind of what I'm in the process of doing right now.
Which is why I think some of these non-traditional retail platforms could work for you until you're able to scale it up to where you can, get 500,000 units, right? And the demand will be less on that end because they're not a typical retailer, but they have the audience that you need to tap into as far as pet owners.
Right. And it's not only just for the pet as well. It works great on you as well when you're walking down the path, or walking down the street and it's dark. I tested it, and it's about a 4-foot radius in front of you that's illuminated. And it keeps you safe at night. It keeps your pet safe at night. You can track them if they run off, if they have it on them and stuff like that. So it's a great product, and I feel very good about it. And I'm looking forward to this whole process, meeting different people, getting it out there, and very excited for it.
You're the quintessent inventor.
Okay.
David. So thank you very much. Unfortunately, we have to wind things down. Where can people find more about the Fur Baby Light?
They can go to my website, Fur Babies Flashlight, FurBabyFlashlights, FurBabyFlashlights.com.
Excellent. So you are listening to Passage to Profit, the Inventor Show on WOR 710 with Richard and Elizabeth Gearhart, our special guest, Justin Goodbread, and we will be right back.